got a chance to come here, be a part of such a young and special group. What was this like to just be on this journey with this team as they went along?
It was great, you know. I think, I was just telling Coach, as a player, you know, you play for so long in the league, you lose sight of things, you know, being the kids. And I think it was a bit of a reminder, you know, to always be kids and be curious and enjoy life a little bit. I think sometimes we tend to stress a lot on the things we obviously cannot control, but I think these guys really reminded me, you know, to enjoy life a little bit while playing basketball. It's a great group of young guys, you know, super talented, you know, and focused. They have an incredible level of focus, dedication to, you know, the craft that makes it even more enjoyable. You know, when you get in the gym with people that really want to work, you know, I love working. So when I'm in an environment with people that work as hard as I do, you know, it makes my life even fun. So it was great to be around the guys. And obviously an unfortunate ending, but you know, control what you can't control.
Sorry, is there a moment that stands out to you just in terms of being around young guys and knowing or seeing in real time that they were maybe more focused than other young guys you've been around in your career?
I think obviously going to the first series, you can kind of see that the commitments, the level of focus. I think Shea was, you know, kind of having a newborn in the mix of all that and decided to still make himself available. You know, that shows the amount of maturity and understanding of responsibilities that he carries for the team. So, but overall, you know, I think for a season that, you know, they were able to put together, you know, at this young age, it says a lot about their character. You know, we could sit here and go moment by moment, but you have to also look at the season and the playoff and situations that we put in, how well they were able to execute things and, you know, lift up one another. I think that's the most important thing. There's, you know, I don't think it's just one moment that can define that. It's probably, you know, kind of to sum up everything, the whole season, how things unfold. But, you know, it doesn't feel well. It doesn't sit well where everybody, you know, is right now. But you got to take these moments and, you know, go get better and come back this year, next year and do it better.
You know, I'm just curious, what is this on the table with you? Because I think Mike brought in something similar.
Not open. It's how it was handed to me by coach. So probably a summer program. You know, things we need to improve and how we can get better. But again, at the same time, you know, it just speaks about the organization.
You've been in the league a while, and you've been some different teams. Outside looking in, did you think that this young group would be that way, that committed to, you know, because sometimes people associate youth with immaturity. What did you think when you first got here, that you were getting into?
I mean, just from watching them and competing against them, I knew they were mature enough. You know, when you kind of observe the beginning of the season, everybody has a starting point, you know. And by December, some deviate from it, and some stay on track. And by All-Star break, some has given up, and some have, you know, the vision and the passion. And I think the maturity level of each and every one of them in the locker room helps the coach to coach them, helps the front office to keep hiding these pieces. And that's one of the reasons why, you know, some of us will hide it after the All-Star break. But at the same time, the beauty of the journey is that you gotta face up and down, although they are mature. I think we all went through the process, and we're still going through it. To be able to, you know, I think sometimes it's how quick can you turn it around. You know, that's where you're really gonna find how mature, people are. Challenges bring something out of you, and I think this either gonna make each and every person, which I believe it will make them, or break them. And it's obviously you're sad now, you gotta deal with it. But also having great success, I think your biggest challenge is your last success. So if they could, and we can all go into summertime saying, we know what happened and this is how we can fix it, and now we gotta go and get better and come back next season and do it again and do it at a high level.
What did you think about Chet before you got to the team, and then how did that change as you became his teammate?
I mean, I think about him the same way as I become his teammate. When I go into every game, there's a team that gives me a scouting report, and I do my own scouting report. I study players, and I tend to understand players. I think Chet is a great, talented young guy that's extremely focused on getting better. I mean, he played every game this season. For a rookie, this is difficult. I played my full season. I think I was on my 5th season in the league, and my body was hurt. So I can only imagine what he's going through. But at the same time, in order for you to do that, it takes commitment and sacrifice, because there's days you don't want to, your body doesn't feel right. You can't get on the court, or you're dealing with injuries. But for him as a rookie to be able to be committed enough to say, no matter what, I'm going to get on the floor and I'm going to compete with these guys, it says a lot about who he is. I don't need to sit here and say, this and that. I think what he has done for himself, deserves the respect that we must give him, And I think I'm a believer, and I think as a believer, when you're in a room full of people that just don't have wishes, they have a will, they go out there, they make it, and he's a believer with a will, and he get out there and he made it happen, not just for himself, but for the team. Because I don't think the team could have been at that level without each and every person in that starting lineup, and then that second unit. So everybody have contributed, but I think Chet played a big role in the team success, and I'm really happy for him to be able to miss his last season and come into this season and play a full season. A lot of respect for him.
Go ahead.
Because you talk some about Shea, but just being around him, being his teammate, like, what did you come to learn about him that you maybe couldn't see from the outside?
Shea? He doesn't listen. No, Shea is it's like my little brother. I love him. Him and my brother goes way back as far as friends. But I think one of the things about him that I really find interesting is that, when there's such a high demand of you on the team, I think there's nights I was coming back and I'll see him at night also working. The commitment that he has to just continue to get better, even though he's playing at that level, it says a lot about him, and I think, you see some people, they are at the level, they're in the MVP conversation, but are they working hard enough? I don't know. I've been around guys that they're just that good, but he's a hard worker, and it's fun to watch. So it's gonna be an MVP of the league soon. Man, maybe next year. So look forward to that. No, you're fine. He should have been this year anyway. But
following on, you were talking about Shea. You spent a few years in Phoenix playing with Chris Paul. Shea spent the season with him as well. Can you see any similarities or parts of Chris Paul's game with Shea?
No, two different players. There's no similarity. Shea, CP. I would not want to mix the two. But I do think that, you know, passing on the knowledge and information that you have is always useful for young guys. And somebody has passed it on to me, somebody has passed it on to CP, and I'm sure CP did pass it on to Shea. And as you spend time with him, and I think, you know, guys feel as if he's part of them because he does not separate himself that I'm this, you know, I'm this guy, I'm this MVP guy, and this is how, you know, I'm gonna treat everybody. You know, he treat all these teammates equally. He laugh with all of them the same way. So, you know, there's no similarity, but Shea is Shea, and we gotta let him be his own man. I think is turning into a beast that we're gonna see for years. So enjoy the show.
Last one for Biz.
Biz, you talked about the nights you come in and you see Shea working. What do you remember? Are there any moments that stand out to you from some of the nights?
There's no moments, man. Being in the gym at night and other teammates in the gym at night, I love it. You know, I love it. It's the only thing I can say. You know, there's no words you can put to that beside, you know, somebody just trying to get better. You know, and never stop getting better.
Thank you, Biz.
Thank you.